Hi, everybody.
I'm Steve Shemanek.
I'm Jazzy Shemanek.
And this is Night's Watch. Tonight we're covering the finale of Season 1, Episode 6, The Morrow.
Yeah. What a season. What a great season of television.
Really great. I definitely teared up a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
In this episode.
I'm really glad they've already started working on Season 2 because there was such a long, delay between the announcement and the production of the show and the show coming out. I'm worried about that kid getting too big.
Yeah. When they first announced it was in development, it was going to be a movie, and that was years ago.
Yeah.
I think it might have even been before Game of Thrones ended, or shortly thereafter.
It was when during the final season.
Yeah,
I think that's right. Announced.
Yeah, so it was in development for a long, long time. It became a TV show instead of a movie.
To its benefit, I think.
Yeah,
I think so. I think the weekly release helped build hype because a lot of people were turned off by the first episode.
Yeah, that's true.
The hype kept growing and the numbers kept climbing, and now people it's got great reviews. People really enjoyed it.
Great reviews. Great, really, really gangbusters ratings from what I've read. I think the last episode 5, had a perfect 10 user score on IMDb.
For a while.
There was a whole war, apparently.
Of course.
With the Breaking Bad fandom. Very silly.
Can't say anything's better than Breaking Bad.
Yeah, no,
that's
not
illegal.
But yeah, I think they did a really good job turning it into a TV show. It felt a little richer. It had a little more breathing room.
Yeah.
It definitely would have been tighter as a 2-hour movie versus 3.5-ish hours.
I really like Sir Raceling is someone that Game of Thrones would have cut.
Yeah.
He would have never, and he's such a great side character. The episodic format gave time for more of the side characters to shine.
Yeah.
I don't think we would have gotten nearly as much Lionel if it had been a movie. Yeah. Or he would have been the only side character and we would have gotten too much Lionel. I don't know if there's just such a thing as that.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine.
Yeah, I feel like it benefited from being a TV show.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for more.
Yeah, it was well paced out. It was building up action up to the penultimate episode. Yeah, so it was well done.
Yeah. You ready to get into the recap?
Yeah.
All
right. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We open to some sad trombone music with Lionel and his maester standing under Dunk's tree looking down. Lionel holds out a wineskin, offering it to Dunk, who's seated slouched against the tree, face heavily bruised. Lionel sits beside him and has some wine himself, while his maester fusses over Dunk's injuries. Lionel laments that such a great tournament is over now. His home is brutally dull, according to him. But then Lionel has an idea. He says Dunk should come with him back to Storm's End, where they can hunt and sail and make merry together. He even offers to train Dunk so he doesn't make such a grand fool of himself next time. The whole time Lord Baratheon is speaking, Dunk looks at him silently, looking unhappy and somewhat annoyed by the laughing storm. Lionel asks Dunk if he's ever been to Tarth, and then the maester interrupts to say that Dunk is dying, that his wounds have mortified, and that there's nothing he can do for him. But Lionel is unbothered, telling the maester that an itchy asshole is beyond his abilities, and then calling him a witch and telling him to fuck off. Lionel then reassures Dunk that he's fine, that guy's a terrible maester. Come to Storm's End, Lionel tells Dunk. I will love you like a brother. He then strains and grunts in pain as he stands up to take a piss. And if not, well, fuck you. I'll hate you like a brother. Finally, Dunk speaks, saying that it's a fine offer, but that he just brings pain to everyone around him. Lionel disagrees and says that Dunk has actually done the realm a kindness. The only good dragon is a dead dragon, according to the Lord of Storm's End. Fucking gods, replies Dunk angrily. Baelor fought and died for him. The least Lionel could do was show him a little respect. Fuck that and fuck you, retorts Lionel, erupting with anger himself now. He yells at Dunk that he fought for him, that Harding and Beesbury and, quote, the fucking Apple Boy fought for him. Baelor fought against men sworn to protect him, risking nothing, according to Lionel. He lowers his voice and says, the gods don't favor a fraud. Then why have they favored me, Dunk asks. Lionel says that what Dunk is going through right now with his injuries and everything else is not favor, it's mockery. He again offers Dunk a place beside him, saying that there's a war coming, and that the two of them could be a force. He asks Dunk if he'll consider it, but before he can reply, he says, good. The caravan departs after the roast. We then cut to Prince Baelor's funeral on a rocky hilltop where his body is being burnt in accordance with Targaryen tradition. Very funny that he called that a roast. Lord Dondarrion, Lord Ashford, a pair of Kingsguard, and a bunch of Targaryens are assembled, including King Daeron the Good, who we get to see for once in this. He doesn't have any lines, but we see him. And a Septon recites a prayer for the fallen prince. We then see the injured Dunk hobbling towards the hilltop as smoke rises from the funeral pyre, and then we see Dunk atop the hill after the ceremony, looking on at a despondent Prince Valar, who is sporting a fresh gray streak in his hair, while a couple of silent sisters work on the remains. Dunk approaches Valar, telling him that his father was a great man. Valar quickly interjects to say that his father died in his armor. He says that many men have died in their father's armor, but wonders how many fathers have died wearing their son's armor. Dunk doesn't know. Valar continues, saying that his father was still young and would have made a great king. Why would the gods take him and leave you? Valar asks Dunk. Dunk says he's wondered the same. Be gone with you, Sir Duncan, the Morning Prince says. We then see Dunk hobbling through the tourney grounds on a crutch. People in the background look at him as he passes, whispering to each other, while they continue to work on packing up their tents and whatnot now that the tournament is over. A familiar figure in the background then calls out to Dunk. It's Raymond Fossaway. Raymond explains that he was looking for Dunk, but he wasn't at his camp, and he says he can't believe that Dunk went to Baelor's funeral. Dunk replies that he thought he owed the prince that much at least, but shakes his head regretfully as he says it. Everybody blames me for his death, don't they? Dunk asks. I don't, replies the sweet green apple boy, who then goes for a big hug. Dunk appreciates the kind words and affection of his friend Raymond, embracing him and tussling his hair. The hug goes on for a moment, a little too long for Dunk. Okay, he says, and withdraws from the hug. Dunk notices Raymond's tent now, much smaller than the one he had before. And Raymond explains that his cousin Stefan took his tent, accusing Raymond of betraying his family by going against him in the trial, leaving Raymond with little else. I'm sorry, Raymond, Dunk replies, but Raymond tells him not to be. Stefan is just mad that he lost. First trial of 7 in 100 years, and Lord Stefan Fossaway got beaten by his little cousin, says Raymond with a chuckle, adding, besides, it's better to be an unripe green apple than a wormy red one. Dunk picks up Raymond's shield, painted with his new green apple sigil, telling Raymond that it suits him. Raymond then brags that he thinks he broke one of his cousin's ribs. Then we see fan favorite minor character Red emerge from Raymond's modest little tent carrying a chamber pot, which he dumps in the grass. Greeting Dunk and Raymond, morning. Dunk looks around confused, then looks at Raymond, who winks back at Dunk. Raymond introduces Dunk to the woman who, unbeknownst to him, Dunk had already met several days prior while she was working as a prostitute. Raymond introduces her as Rowan, kisses her, of the Green Apple Fossaways. She gives Dunk a knowing look. Huh? Asks Dunk, still confused. My wife, replies Raymond. Pleased to meet you, sir, Sir Duncan, says Rowan. Oh, right. Pleased to meet you too, replies Dunk with sudden understanding. Raymond and Rowan continue to kiss and be handsy while Raymond tells Dunk that she came to the trial to see him fight and that he fought like a wild bull. Dunk laughs awkwardly. Raymond says that he had no squire to see to his wounds, so when Rowan came and offered to help him out of his armor, one thing led to another. And now she says that he's gotten her with child, so he figures he ought to marry her. Dunk is gobsmacked but silent. Rowan rubs her belly and says it feels like a boy. Raymond beams with pride, smiling a huge, goofy grin, and asks, You hear that, Sir Duncan? A boy. Dunk blinks rapidly and begins to stammer a congratulations, but two riders in black and red, Targaryen household guards, ride over to Dunk, telling him that Maekar demands a word. Raven interjects, He's not going anywhere, he's been through enough. But Duncan says it's fine. He hands Raymond his shield back and says he'll be fine. Congratulations, he says to Raymond and Rowan before limping off slowly with the Targaryen guards. We cut to Maekar, sitting alone in his chamber reading a book. Dunk enters, escorted by the two guards. Maekar waves them off, and the guards leave. closing the door behind them, leaving Maekar and Dunk alone. A tense moment passes before Maekar speaks up and tells Dunk that he's sending Arya to the Free Cities to hopefully turn him into less of a piece of shit. After another heavy pause, Maekar continues, telling Dunk that people will say he meant to kill his brother, even though it's not true. He'll always hear the whispers. Dunk tells Maekar that while he did swing the mace, it was for him that Prince Baelor died. You will hear whispers as well, Maekar tells Dunk. He says that once his father, King Darren the Good, dies, every time something bad happens, like a failed crop, fools will say that it wouldn't have happened under Baelor, if only that hedge knight hadn't killed him. Dunk, staring at the floor in shame, says that if he hadn't fought, he would have lost a hand and a foot, and that he sat under the tree this morning asking if he could have spared one. I mean, how can a foot be worth a prince's life? Dunk asks Maekar. Maekar, dripping with contempt, asks back, and what answer does your tree give you? Dunk shrugs and shifts uncomfortably on his crutch. He tells Maekar that Sir Arlen used to ask every night at dusk, I wonder what the morrow will bring. We see Egg eavesdropping behind a cracked door. Dunk wonders maybe someday he'll have need of that foot, that the realm will need that foot even more than a prince's life. Not bloody likely, says Maekar. The realm has as many hedge knights as hedges. Maekar stands and walks across the room. He's also limping, injured in the trial, just like just about everyone else. He tells Dunk that that Egg has grown fond of him, that it's time for him to be a squire, but he says he'll squire for no one but Dunk. He's an unruly boy, Maekar says. But Dunk disagrees, saying that he just needs a stern hand. Will you have him? Asks Maekar. Me? Replies Dunk. Maekar tells Dunk that he can come to Summerhall and live there with Egg as his squire, and even finish his own training with Maekar's own masters at arms there, as he clearly still has much to learn, despite Sir Arlen's best efforts. Dunk thinks for a moment and coughs, but decides not to accept. I think I'm done with princes. Yeah. We see Egg again, and he looks hurt by Dunk's words and steps back from the door. We then see Dunk painstakingly descending some castle stairs, one stair at a time, grunting with each step. As he reaches the bottom, he sees Egg looking back up at him, sitting in front of a window. The two share a wordless look, and Dunk joins him in front of the window. Were you spying? Dunk asks. Egg denies it, then asks Dunk if he's in pain, but Dunk doesn't reply. Sir? Egg asks softly. I can't, Egg. I'm sorry, replies Dunk. Dejected, Egg looks at the floor as he tells Dunk, maybe you're not the knight I thought you were, and then gets up and walks away. Dunk watches him, heartbroken but resolved. And that's the halfway point.
We enter a flashback. Sir Arlen of Pennytree is sitting against the trunk of a tree where we see Dunk bury him under the first episode. He's gasping for breath and looking mildly confused. He asks Dunk if he's ever heard the story before, and Dunk assures him he has heard it many times from Sir Arlen himself. Dunk begins to ask Sir Arlen a question, but he's immediately interrupted by the elderly man describing the tradition of nailing a penny to the oak tree in the square when they are called to battle by their liege lord, and if they return from battle, they take the penny down. He describes the tree as beautiful, but often hard to find a spare place to nail a new penny. Dunk asks why Sir Arlen never knighted him. The old man stares at him, his expression vacant. Did you think I'd leave you? I wouldn't have. Was it something else, sir? Sir? Sir Arlen is no longer breathing and staring blankly off into space. Dunk begins to cry, realizing that his master is gone. Suddenly, Sir Arlen heaves a huge breath and finishes the story, and that's why they call it Pennytree. A true knight always finishes a story. We cut back to the Baratheon tent, where Lord Beesbury's casket sits in the middle of the gathering, covered in live bees. Sir Raymond and his newly betrothed sit at the table with Dunk, sullenly drinking ale. Sir Raymond asks how they're able to control the bees. Some kind of bee magic? Rowan scoffs at this idea and explains to her soon-to-be lord that the queen bee is inside the casket, keeping the hive calm and close. She calls him her poor, sweet warrior and says all the fighting has turned his brains into applesauce. They begin to make out intensely while Dunk sits there uncomfortably. Across the room, Dunk spots Darren, demanding a serving boy bring him more ale. Dunk hobbles over to his table and asks how he feels comfortable showing his face in this tent. Darren shrugs, and Dunk begins to walk away. When he calls out, "Won't you please take Egg to Squire?" Dunk says he's already turned down Makar. "My brother wasn't always such a monster." Dunk begins to get angry. "Egg is no monster. He's just a boy." "I don't mean Egg," Darren clarifies. "But I don't doubt we'll make a man of him too. Mayhaps the seeds of madness are sown in the womb, as the maesters say. But Arian was quite the glad child once. He liked to fish." Back in Lord Ashford's castle, Egg sits alone in a richly appointed room. He gets up off the bed. He stares in the mirror, seeing his silver Targaryen hair begin to grow back in. He sneaks out of the room and into the neighboring one, slowly pulling a knife from his waistband. He creeps up to the bed where his brother Arian is sleeping, healing from the massive amount of damage Dunk inflicted on him during the tourney. As he gets closer to his brother, he realizes his father is sitting in a chair near the bed. He drops the knife immediately, and his eyes well with tears. Makar gets up and pulls his youngest son into a hug, and the small boy cries. They're interrupted by a knock at the door, and the serving man announces that Dunk is here to see the prince. In the hallway, while Dunk waits for Makar, he's approached by Lord Ashford's daughter. She tells him she doesn't blame him for what happened or for ruining her birthday. She says what they did to him was rotten, and he was right in his reply. Dunk thanks her, and she bows her head and leaves. Makar enters and demands Dunk speak quickly. He is eager to be rid of this place. Dunk says that before Baelor died, he said that the realm needed good men. "What of that?" asks Makar. Dunk says he will take Egg to Squire, but not at Summerhall. Makar reminds him that he said he was done with princes. Dunk insists that Egg is not a prince yet. Maybe he would be better served away from castles and servants. "And his family," finishes the prince. Dunk looks uncomfortable but continues. "If you'll consent, I will take Egg on the road with me. He'll learn to squire as I did." He describes traveling the countryside and nights of camping or sleeping in the halls of lesser lords. Makar sneers that he won't allow his son to live as a peasant. He's the blood of a dragon. He cannot sleep in ditches and eat hard salt beef. Dunk counters that Darren never slept in a ditch, and every bite of meat that Arian ever had was rare and bloody. Makar looks at Dunk with eyes full of sorrow and says, "He's my last son," and with that he leaves the room. Back in the meadow, Dunk is saddling Chestnut and Thunder when a familiar whinny is heard in the distance. It's Sweetfoot. Dunk cries out happily as Raymond walks up. He mentions that Storm's End is a dreary place, and he thought having an old friend there would make it nicer for Dunk. Dunk is touched Raymond bought his horse back, but he tells him he won't be going to Storm's End. He'll be riding as fast as he can in the other direction. He asks what Raymond's plans are, and he says some shit about apples. Dunk thinks an apple-based life would be happier for Sweetfoot than continuing to live on the road, and he gives her to Sir Raymond. Sir Raymond produces an apple from his pocket like some sort of Pez dispenser and offers it to his new horse. Dunk sits under the elm tree carving a nail, which he uses to nail a penny to the tree they'd been camping under. Just as he's about to mount Chestnut, he hears Egg's voice call out from behind him. "Sir Duncan!" He appears in his peasant's disguise. "My lord father says I am to serve you." "Serve you, sir," corrects Dunk. "Chestnut is yours. Treat her kindly, and I don't want to find you on Thunder unless I put you there." Egg nods happily. The two ride down the road side by side, and Egg asks where they're headed. Dunk says he doesn't know. I suppose we could go anywhere in the 7 kingdoms. Egg immediately interrupts. 9. There are 9 kingdoms of the realm, sir. Are you mad? Asks Dunk. Is that relevant? Egg replies. There are 7 kingdoms in the realm, boy. Everyone knows that. Well, then everyone is wrong. Crownlands, Westerlands, Stormlands, Riverlands, the Iron Islands, the North, the Reach, the Vale of Arryn, and Dorne. Dunk's flabbers are gasted. No, but I've never been over the Red Mountains before. I hear they have good puppet shows in Dorne, Egg says suggestively. Dunk and Egg ride along the road together. Sir Arlen appears alongside them, riding Sweetfoot. As our heroes continue straight down the road, Sir Arlen makes a sharp left off into the meadow and off screen. The screen goes black and a title card comes up declaring a Knight of the 9 Kingdoms. The screen lights back up as we see the Targaryen progression out of the city. Aerion is sitting in a cart looking very beat up. Maekar searches the procession up and down. He reaches the end and realizes Egg is missing. Where the fuck is he? He shouts as the screen fades to black. That's the end of season 1 of Dunk and Egg.
Yes.
A Knight of the 7 Kingdoms. That's what it's actually called.
9
9 Kingdoms. Who can keep it straight?
I love that bit.
That blew my mind.
Yeah, that was really funny.
I've been reading these books since 2004, and I've never thought to count the kingdoms.
Just how shook Dunk was by this revelation. It was so funny.
Mm. He's like, "You want me to clout you on the ear?" And he's like,
he lists them off. Dunk the Lunk, the castle wall.
He's my sweet boy, and I love him.
Yeah.
All right, you want to get into our bottom? I only have 4.
I also only have 4.
Okay.
Some of them are a stretch, but yeah.
So are mine. No worries.
Okay. Do you want to start off?
Yeah, my number 4 is 9 fucking kingdoms. How have I never noticed there were 9 kingdoms?
You would think someone would have mentioned that.
How?
They're constantly calling them the 7 kingdoms.
Always. I've never even never even thought about it.
I guess I wonder if you could get into the technicalities, or maybe they were called the 7 kingdoms at one point when there was just 7 kingdoms, and then they later became 9.
I think because I don't think Dorne technically counts.
Yeah, because it's not really part of the realm, is it? Or no, it is at this point because King Daeron the Good married a Dornish princess, and that's how he brought Dorne into the fold. Yeah, that's why Baelor has black hair.
Yeah, they still have their own prince.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Ireland,
right?
You know? Like it's its own thing, but it's also I don't want to say it the wrong way.
Largely self-governed. I mean, all the kingdoms are largely self-governed.
Yeah,
so they're all kind of independent. I would also think, do the Iron Islands really count as their own kingdom? They don't have a king at this point, I don't think. They're kind of just part of the North, or even if you consider them.
They're technically a separate thing. They're their own culture.
They are their own culture. I mean, yeah, but
you could consider them part of the North, but they're like, I think the Iron Islands.
Do they govern themselves? I'm not really sure at this point. Because we know
they are currently at this point in the story.
Okay.
They don't have.
There are various times where they split off and try to be independent. So, yeah. All right, yeah. 9 kingdoms.
I guess.
This is during the reign of King Daeron the Good, who united everyone. So I guess this is kind of the peak of the realm as far as number of kingdoms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As the peak of the realm period.
Yeah, pretty much. Mm-hmm.
And there's still like 3 wars. So.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so yeah, my number 4. Aerion does not suffer enough. He instigated the whole situation, and yes, he got his ass thoroughly beat by Dunk and embarrassed in front of everyone. but then he gets sent off to the Free Cities, which is just kind of a vacation as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't ever seem to actually make... The Targaryens are always sending their shitty princelings to the Free Cities, thinking maybe they'll get better. I think it's really they just don't want to deal with them.
Yeah,
so they ship them
100%.
off, and they just tell themselves maybe they'll grow up over there, and they never do.
No,
they never do.
They should make them become.
If anything, they come back worse.
Send them to school.
Yeah,
make them learn something.
Yeah. So I want Arya to suffer more, but of course,
I don't.
He's a Targaryen prince. So.
Yeah, my next one is Maekar is a pussy ass bitch, and sending a Targaryen to the Free Cities has never done anything good. So I agree. Like the only Targaryen who you could argue has done anything good of the Free Cities, other than Sarah, who became a sex worker, a very famous and renowned sex worker. Nothing wrong with that. No hate.
Yeah,
but. Was Dany because she freed the slave cities.
Yeah, she liberated them.
And people call her crazy for freeing Slaver's Bay, but I still ride for Dany.
Yeah, it was a pretty objectively. You can't really argue that wasn't a good thing.
Yeah,
she did.
Yeah, ask the slaves if they're mad about it. Yeah. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they all were ride or die with her after that.
Mm-hmm. They were waiting for her.
Yeah.
Like some of the cities, which they don't get into the show, some of the cities liberated themselves just knowing she was coming.
Yeah, that's right.
And they greeted her with their slave collars, like in boxes. It's much cooler in the books, Dany's journey to free the slave cities.
Yeah. You could say it's a bit of a distraction from her ultimate goal of retaking the Iron Throne, but you cannot say it's not a worthy side quest.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
My next one, this is related to my other one. Part of me wanted to see Egg kill Arya in that bed. But, for one, it would be out of character for Egg. He's too sweet for
He's
that.
a little baby boy.
Yeah. And two, it's very uncanonical.
Yeah.
We all know how Arya ends up Bright Flame.
Yeah.
And it's not that. So,
yeah.
I've never expected that to actually happen. But part of me would have liked to see it.
I wouldn't have hated it. I don't want to put that on
Egg.
It
would have been a lot for Egg, but there's still a part of me that was like, get him.
My next one is seeing how hurt the Egg was by Dunk refusing to take him on as Squire. Just a sad little face eavesdropping. Like, he had to know he was eavesdropping. That's all the kid does.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, he was like waiting for him all sad when he came out of the room. So Dunk obviously knew immediately. It's the first thing he asked him.
Yeah. That hurt my feelings.
Yeah. That little conversation between them was rough. It's hard to see. Yeah. My next one is kind of related. Seeing poor Dunk beating up himself this whole episode over Baelor's death. Like, yeah, I mean, I understand why he feels guilty and why he feels like this is all his fault, but it's really... Not really. Like, ultimately, it's more Aryann's fault than anyone else's, but there's plenty of blame to go around.
Baelor made his choice.
Yeah. Darren also contributed by adding on to Aryann's lie. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there's blame to go around, and I think if we're ranking who's at fault, Dunk is towards the bottom of that list.
I think, like, Baelor did what he thought was right and, like, stood up against his family, and it sucks that it cost him his life, but I really... agree with Lionel. Like, he thought he was safe. He thought there was no way he could be hurt.
Yeah.
He thought he was invincible going into this fight.
Harsh as he was, he had a point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My last one is Egg feeling the need to murder his brother makes me deeply sad. Like, he thought there was no other way he was going to be safe. Like, Dunk is not going to take him. His family's not going to protect him from his brother. He's like, the only way I have out of the only option I have is to kill him. And he probably would have done it if his dad wasn't right there.
He might have.
I
don't know if he could have done it because he's such a sweetheart. And
I think he was going to do it. I think he would have done it if the opportunity had been there.
Maybe.
Aryan tortured him.
Yeah,
like
he would have deserved it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That made me sad.
Yeah.
Those are my bottoms.
My last one, on a slightly different note. This is a really minor quibble. I don't want to come off like saying like it was terrible, but the choice to end the show on 16 Tons by Tennessee Ernie Ford. I love that song.
Mm-hmm.
Great song, classic song. It just felt a little out of place with the show for me. Like, we kind of discussed it before.
Yeah,
you brought up a point that there are definitely some themes in that song that apply to the show,
mm-hmm.
but I don't know. It was still, and this, again, super minor
quibble
here. It just felt a little out of place. I might have picked something.
They've never done a modern song on Game of Thrones, on any of the Game of Thrones franchise, so it did seem strange. It was like surprising to me, but I also loved it because the whole theme of this season is about selling your body for, the benefit of advancement. And I don't see how.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's a song that more personifies that.
Yeah, there's definitely some parallels between the themes of the song, which is about being an indentured laborer, and being a knight. Because what else is a knight than someone who you pledge your body to some lordling
or a sex worker?
Right.
Yeah.
That's my whole bottom 4.
All right. How about your tops?
All right. Do you want to start or should I?
You go first.
All right. Number 5, the huge balls on Dunk to go to Makar and basically say, your son would be better off being homeless with me than living as a noble with you. Look how shitty your other kids turned out. Like, that's the heir to the Iron Throne.
No, Darius.
You're right. I'm sorry, Phalar is. But that's
he's next in line right now.
That's a prince. That's a Targaryen prince, and you're gonna go up and basically saying, you're a shit dad. Give your son to me, a homeless guy. Like, he's right.
And he's right.
He's right, but that takes
and Makar knows he's right.
Yeah, it takes some balls to do that.
Yeah. That's a great one. My number 5 is the idea of bee magic.
Yeah.
I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
And I loved that Rowan, knows how bee husbandry works.
Yeah.
And the guy who grew up on a farm is like, what sorcery is that foot?
Yeah.
Yeah. It really shows the breadth of education that people get in Westeros.
It actually ties into my next one, which is that Red, she's credited, I believe, as Red. Mm-hmm. And then when Raymond introduces her to Dunk, it says Rowan. So Red/Rowan. Ending up with Raymond was so great, and I think they're fucking adorable together.
Yeah.
Even though Red is kind of scamming, she's clearly scamming.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But
she said it.
I don't even care because Raymond seems genuinely thrilled. So it's kind of harmless.
I'm sure he'll have time to get her pregnant.
Yeah. But they are adorable. Her comment about how the fighting's turned his brains to applesauce. That's fucking hilarious.
I'm here. I've got the apple puns ready.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Those two are such a great pair. I think, people probably are going to love that. I know I did.
Me too. That's higher on my list, but we'll get into that.
Oh, okay.
My number 4 is Little Lady Ashford. I've just enjoyed her performance the whole time. This is apparently her first role.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What a huge get for your first role.
She doesn't have a huge role in the show, but it's significant.
Yeah.
And she's in one of the more, a very interesting minor character.
Yeah, and I just loved that she was like, what happened to you sucked, and I am sorry. And it was just, it's nice to see people in the noble class appreciated people who are, technically considered beneath them, giving him his props.
Especially because when they first meet, she comes up and says, "You're big and stupid," and then fakes him out with his black and walks away. She comes around to Dunk.
All the scenes she's in are great. I really enjoyed her performance.
Yeah, she was really good.
What's your next one?
My next one, great Lionel moment this episode when he tells the Maester, "Be gone, witch, fuck off with you then." And then turns to Dunk and he's like, "You're fine. He's a shitty fucking Maester."
I have that on my list too.
Oh,
it's further up. Yeah, we'll go ahead and talk about it. That whole opener was so great. I loved Lionel pitching like a season 2 bromance road trip for them. Saying an itchy asshole is beyond your abilities. Be gone, witch.
Yeah.
It's just like one of the funniest lines in the show, period.
Yeah. I just fuck off with you then.
Yeah.
Like, it's so like mean and also kind of politely worded.
Yeah. Every single thing he says in the scene is fantastic.
Yeah.
I said, well, come to terms then. I'll love you like a brother, and if you don't, then fuck you, and I'll hate you like a brother. Like,
yeah, especially that line is especially interesting considering we know, they do meet again.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff happens.
Yeah, some stuff do happen. But yeah, the idea of him and Dunk being a formidable duo, him pointing out like the lack of sacrifice in Baelor's actions, I thought like what a well-crafted scene, especially to like follow up the ending of that last episode.
Yeah,
was so much like lightness and humor and truth.
Yeah,
it's a really, really good call.
Definitely.
What's your next one?
My next one is we finally got confirmation on the question many people have been asking throughout since the show started and since well before, because it's been an open-ended question that's not answered in the books. Did Dunk actually get knighted? And he did not.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Big reveal.
I mean, I always kind of assumed that he didn't.
It definitely was hinted at, but never confirmed.
Yeah.
And this is confirmation.
Yeah.
I'm sure George R. R. Martin signed off on that.
I mean, he earned it.
Yeah. He's a knight.
It.
He is a knight. Whether he was ever knighted or not, he is one of the truest knights.
I really do wonder, maybe if Sir Arlen was just too, like, he obviously had some, I don't want to, diagnose him, but, like, dementia or, like,
Yeah.
He was ailing and elderly, and
a drunk.
And a drunk, yeah. I don't know if maybe he just forgot how important it was, or
what Dunk asks him if it was because he thought he'd leave him.
Yeah.
Which could be. I like some people speculating on that question, wondered if maybe Dunk does eventually get knighted, possibly by adult Egg in the future. Or
I could see that.
Maybe even someone else.
Yeah.
But like, who else would Dunk trust that secret to but Egg?
Yeah.
And once Egg is grown and a knight in his own right, then he could knight Dunk then secretly, and it'd be all kosher.
Yeah.
I could see
That's
something like that happening. But we'll see, maybe. If the show goes on long enough. I know the showrunner talked about wanting to do all these seasons.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to get that far. I feel like my expectation is that they'll do 3 seasons, one for each novella. But it could go beyond that.
I would like to see.
I know a lot of people want to see Summerhall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to see that. I'd like to see the ending of the story since we don't have it yet.
So that would be at least 4 seasons.
Yeah.
But Summerhall is like well after. I mean, Egg's grown by then.
Mm-hmm. He has a Dunk of his own.
Yeah. I think the showrunner talked about wanting to do like 9 seasons or something if they could.
Wow.
Like
I
3 with that cover the novellas, and then 3 with like an adult but not yet King Egg, and then 3 with a King Egg.
Interesting. Egg isn't king that long.
No.
Interesting. We'll see what happens. Was that we both went kind of at the same time.
Yeah, that was my number 4, or my number 2, I should say. I have one more top item.
Okay, I'll go. I really loved the "Are you mad? Is that relevant?"
Yes.
The constant question of Targaryen sanity is an important one to discuss for sure. But yeah, I like what Egg's like. I'm not going to confirm or deny because who knows?
Right.
This gene pool is thin, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, my number 1, Sam Spruill as Maekar is so good in this episode.
Yeah.
Both of his conversations with Dunk, you can just see the grief on his face and the disdain he has for Dunk, even though like he still has full understanding that it wasn't really all Dunk's fault, but he's still largely like there's so much like nuance to his expression and his performance. It's just really perfectly done. Sam Spruill kills it.
He's gonna blame anybody. He needs to blame himself because all his damn kids, it's his kids' fault. His kids fucked everybody up.
Yeah.
My number 1 is the come up of Red/Rowan and Dunk being a girl's girl and not calling her out when he obviously knows she has no idea if she's, with child after one evening.
That she's a prostitute.
Yeah. He totally just let it happen.
Yeah.
And he's like, my friend seems happy. I support her. The creation of the green apple fossaway is so cool. I love that story. I love all the weird little like idiosyncrasies in the Westerosi houses. Like there's the family that have all Sesame Street names. I can't remember what they're. But
there's the Tullys.
Maybe
there's like a Grover
there's a Sir
Tully.
There's a Sir Kermit, a Sir Bert, and a Sir Ernie. There's like the.
I think those are Tullys, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I can't remember what house it is, but the green apple fossways are one of those like little like side things that doesn't get talked about a lot, but I always thought was really fascinating.
It's just one of those details that it's stuff like that makes the world of Ice and Fire so rich.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like all those little details and bits and like little branches of history and interesting facts, that all is like huge part of what makes the world so compelling because it feels like such a real place.
I feel like so much of that stuff got lost in
Game of Thrones. They tend to, especially the longer the show went on, the more they just glazed over a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really love that Raymond was ready to stand 10 toes down, already beat to shit. Like when the Targaryens rode up, he was like, he's had enough.
Yes.
Leave him alone. And what a friend. What a good guy Raymond Fossaway is.
Yeah, and then at the end he buys Sweetfoot back for Dunk.
Yeah.
Like what a fucking cool. I think I've said this probably every episode, but Raymond is just such a good dude. Such a good dude.
Yeah.
And it's rare among nobility.
Absolutely.
I guess it helps that the Fossaways are kind of a minor house.
Yeah.
But still, like, most nobles are douchebags.
They get more powerful when they intermarry with the Baratheons.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Let's hear it. Celine?
I don't know.
I have to cut this because I can't remember. What's Robert's Stannis? Stannis' wife was a Fossaway.
Oh. Shireen's mom?
Yeah.
I forget her name.
I can't remember her name either. Anyway. You want to get into our MVPs and LVPs? Do you have anything else about the episode you wanted to talk about?
No, not really. I think that covers it.
Yeah.
Other than
it was a great episode. Oh, I really loved the scene at the very end of Dunk and Egg riding off in Sir Arlen.
Mm-hmm.
like in spirit riding away from them.
I teared up at that.
Yeah, it really, that was a powerful way to do it.
Yeah, really beautiful.
Clever.
The music was perfect.
I wonder if they'll continue having Sir Arlen on the show. It really
could
very
well do flashbacks.
Yeah,
there's plenty of opportunity for that.
It really felt like a final goodbye to that character.
It did,
yeah. But I really loved that.
Or maybe it was Dunk saying goodbye.
Yeah,
to Sir Arlen.
That's a good point.
And now he has Egg.
All right. Who's your Florian the Fool for this episode?
I had a really, really hard time choosing a Florian the Fool this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I really couldn't come up with anyone who I actively disliked in this one. And I think a lot of that is because, like, the usual suspects were not in this episode. There was no Stefan Fossaway, no Arian Bright Flame, no Manfred Dondarrion. They were all... Well, Manfred Dondarrion shows up and he doesn't say anything. He's at the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
But...
As a roast?
Yeah. Speaking, I
brutal.
Really had a hard time, so this is a stretch, but I am saying Lionel Baratheon, because even though he had a point about Baelor, he was awfully harsh.
Yeah, he was a bit mean.
He came on a little hard, but he wasn't wrong. But like, Dunk is clearly grieving Baelor deeply in that moment. Lionel's just like, fuck him and fuck you. Fuck that.
My Florian is Maekar. Like, not you failed at raising all of your children, and you're gonna be like, my kid's too good to ride on the red. Like, give it a summer at least, you know. Give it a weekend. Like, you literally just watched your son try to kill his brother because he feels so unsafe and unhappy.
Yeah.
And you think that, like, jerky is too good for him?
He's too good for jerky.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I thought about picking Maekar, but I just felt so bad for him. Like, you have to imagine how fucking guilty he must feel of what happened to Baelor.
He did it.
He killed his own older brother whom he loved. Completely by accident over some bullshit his son dragged him into. Like, yeah, I thought about picking Maekar as mine too, but I decided that he must feel so awful.
He knew his son was lying.
Yeah, 100%. He knows what a piece of shit Ryan is.
The fact that he still chose to defend him, I think, is pretty. That's why I appreciated what Baelor did so much, because he went against his family because he knew it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
All right, who is your Queen of Love and Beauty?
All right, my Queen of Love and Beauty this week may be a little bit of a surprise pick. Prince Darren, actually. Oh. Because Darren is the one who makes Dunk realize that Egg is better off with him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what leads to Dunk and Egg walking off into the sunset together.
That's a great pick.
Darren makes that point to Dunk, and that's what makes Dunk reconsider the choice not to bring Egg. So, even though Prince Darren is partially at fault for everything that happened, and a drunk, lazy piece of shit, and a coward, yada yada, he did something good here.
He did. That's a good point. My Queen of Love and Beauty is going to the couple, Raymond and Lady Fossaway. Rowan's come up / Red is incredible.
Yeah.
She has been so much fun to watch this whole series. I love pairing her and Raymond together. They're just so sweet and cute.
They're adorable.
That was my favorite part of the finale, was that reveal. And I also want
the look on Dunk's face when she walks out of it.
Yeah. She says, feels like a boy. And she's just like, go with me.
She looks at him like, come on, don't blow my spot up, please. She's pleading with him with her eyes to, please do not say shit.
Girl.
Don't say shit. I've never met you before.
I also wanted to give a minor one to Egg for being smart enough to get what he wants. I
also have an honorable mention.
Yeah. He like that's also why I put Makar as my Florian, because how do you not make someone watch your kid knowing that he's trying to leave and go be a squire, True. And he's not going to do that at home. Like, he's already escaped and hidden from you guys once.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you have at least someone watch him? But, like, I love that Egg took the initiative. He was like, I could live as a prince, or I could live as a homeless wanderer, and I'm making that choice to live with my friend and be educated on life in a different way than the rest of my family. And that's what makes him a great king for the short time that he is king.
Yeah. I forgot I had an honorable mention for my Queen of Love and Beauty, and that's the actual Queen of Love and Beauty, Gwyn Ashford, for coming around on Dunk and telling him, you did the right thing. She didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I loved that scene. It made me very happy.
I think that about concludes it. That wraps up Night's Watch for season 1.
Yeah.
Yep. It's been a blast covering this show.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for anyone who's listening. We really appreciate it. Can't wait to come back. They're already like a month into filming the second season, so
in like a year or two.
Yeah, within 18 months, I'd say we would probably have the next season.
Most likely, yeah.
So we'll be back to talk about the second season whenever that happens. It's exciting. Yeah, do you have anything else?
No, that's it for me. Right. Thanks so much for being with us, guys.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Bye.